Christina Mayo, also known as Chrissy Mayo Kingdom, born and raised in Jersey City, New Jersey. She is the mother of two beautiful daughters and also an independent artist who loves to sing R&B and gospel. Christina has many talents, but her love is handling her business and living life to the fullest. Christina's main goal is to be a good asset to her family and touch the nation with her journey. Ladies and gentlemen, Christina, aka Chrissy Mayo Kingdom. Christina, welcome to the table. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you, Lady Sheila. It's a pleasure to see you again. Okay.
Love how
I'm
you call me Lady
excited.
Sheila. I love that. Thank you.
You already know. You already know.
Thank you. Thank you. Christina, I have known you for years and watched you grow. Oh my gosh. And it's just when I saw you post the video and the photos of your daughter graduating high school, I was like, who?
Oh my God. And it's still very shocking still now when it comes to that, because it's just like, oh my God, I have a whole 18-year-old and even an 11-year-old, like they done came out of me. And it's like how you saw me grow up is almost like the same pattern in that type of way. You get what I'm saying? So it's really crazy, but
It's working a
it's a good thing.
cycle. Yeah, it
Yeah,
all comes back around. It comes back around.
yeah.
They say what we've done to our mothers and fathers, it's gonna come
Oh,
back to our story.
but it sure did 100-fold. Like I'm like, you know what? My mother and them, they surely was right. Now that I think about it, I'll be like, man, listen, I learned my lesson. I said, that's it. It's curtains, no more.
No more.
No more.
You got you a full grown young woman there. Yes, you do. And she's beautiful. She is
Thank you
beautiful.
so much.
So
Thank
proud.
you.
And just to see what she's doing and what she's growing into.
Yes.
For holding her.
Oh my gosh. It's just the growth is amazing.
Yes.
Is amazing. Is amazing.
So,
Oh my
Christina,
goodness.
yes, we're going to jump right into the question so we can get right into the discussion, okay? So,
Sure.
um, my first question to you is, what does a day in the life of Christina look
Woo. It's very adventurous. It could be adventurous, it could be mysterious, it could be frightening at times, definitely not easy, but you know, it's a challenge, because a lot of people won't know what I really, endure every day, because you can make stuff look easy. You know what I'm saying? And they don't really know behind closed doors, the tears, the hard work and different things that I have to, put in to make sure that everything is afloat and balanced, in my life, because sometimes I could be balanced and sometimes I cannot be balanced, especially with children.
like?
It's not easy, but I overcome, but it's like the life, it wasn't easy. I'm gonna start, from the beginning. All
Okay,
right. Like,
okay.
in the beginning of life, like before my mother even had me, you know what I'm saying? It's like it was already a tug of war there. You get what I'm saying? Like, she had a tumor that was almost as big as a football that
Mm,
was inside her stomach.
no,
Okay. So it was like I was this small, but the tumor was like this big and it was covering me, you know? And it was like they didn't know whether if I was going to even make it or not. My mother went through excruciating pain, but basically through the whole pregnancy,
so
which
you're a
eventually she had.
so you're a blessing walking.
Yes. And you know what the doctor said, that it was like I was like a miracle child because
Yes.
I wasn't supposed to really be here at all,
Hmm.
So it was like I feel like that's where my life started, was even in the midst of my mother going through her process with me,
Hmm.
because it was like the enemy wanted to take me out already before I even got here. You get what I'm
Mm,
saying?
okay.
So it was like once I got here, I already felt like my purpose was going to be greater more than what I thought it was gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it was like I felt like ever since then, it always been like a tug of war. Like it always been something. Like, everybody go through challenges in life.
Conscious.
But I feel
Okay,
like it
so we're gonna get to all of that. I don't want you to go too deep yet because we're
all
gonna
right,
we're gonna get to all of that. Yeah, and I
all
like
right.
open about it. I love it because there's a lesson in everyone's story for the next person. So always
Yes,
remember that and hold on to that. Don't be afraid to talk about your story. And I can see that you're not, and it's great to be open. Um,
yes.
you grew up in the church. How was that?
All right. Now we're gonna I want to be honest, because that's it. I'm be honest because I come from a family church. So I gotta be, I'm gonna just be authentic and be real about it. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome to the table.
Okay, and we're gonna definitely meet each other at the table because you know me. So I'm gonna be as honest as possible. You get what I'm saying? But all right, uh growing up in the church life, it was cool. I thank God for the covering, but it wasn't easy either because it was a lot of pressure on me, especially with family church. It was like you had to be a certain way. It was times when I didn't want to go to church, and my mother like, "No, you going today." You know what I'm saying? Or making me go when I didn't want to go. Certain things to me was like force. Like, don't get me wrong, I love church.
Right.
I love going. I love God, but it was just like I felt like I wanted to do it on my own terms, not when my mother say, "Oh, you have to do it there," or feel like I had to keep up an image because I was in a church family church, So it was like, oh, you gotta be there, you gotta show up. And I can't blame my mom because it was how she was brought up. You get what I'm saying? So it's like a
A cycle.
generational thing.
Yeah.
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 And eventually it had to stop somewhere because, after a while, I didn't want to pass that same tradition and practices with my children, because with church, it's hard when you in church, but then have to use that in the natural world. It ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I love church, but it was a struggle at the same time.
And I think at a certain age too, a lot of us went through that. I would say through our young adulthood and in our teenage years of hearing our parents, "You're going to church today, you're going to church today." And to me, I felt like it would have been more better. Let me go when I'm ready to go.
Right.
Yes, as the small girl, we knew that getting up, going to church Sunday mornings, that's the thing that you did. But once you
Yes.
started to grow and once you get I can't say a preteen because you're still in your parents' house, but as a young adult and you're still in their house,
Hmm.
okay, I'll go. I'll go. I'm not going to go every Sunday, but I'll go. It doesn't mean I love the
Right.
Lord less because Lord knows He's the head of my life.
Yes.
There's something about having that pressure and being pushed to go that
Yep.
that can kind of turn you away from it a little bit
Exactly. And
because
that's
you're
exactly.
because you're preaching to me that God is everywhere.
Hmm.
Why isn't God home if I stay home on Sunday?
Exactly. And honestly, you don't have to be in church, honestly, every Sunday to not have God in you. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? And sometimes some people get their best of knowledge with God and knowing their self when they're by their self. You
And
get what
they're
I'm
by
saying?
themselves. That's right.
Sometimes you could go into church and still didn't get the word or the fulfillment that you really need. You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes it's good just to have that personal relationship with God yourself,
Yourself and get
before
your
feeling
own
like,
meaning, your own meaning from the Bible. Because someone said,
yes.
and it's not too long ago that they said this, that a lot of preachers now are not preaching, they're motivational speakers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They'll pick
And
out one small passage in the Bible
mm-hmm. Yep.
and then they just go from there.
Yep.
So,
And
but I'm not going to go too far on that. But I'm just
it's
saying,
okay.
yeah,
No, you're right. No, you're right. No, you're right.
yeah,
Because I mean that's what
I'm
it
here
is.
to
And
learn. I'm here to learn, and I want to learn about the Bible. I can, I can motivate myself,
right.
speak myself. I don't want to go to church to hear a motivational speaker. I want to go to church to hear a preacher.
Right. The actual word. Right. And it's crazy
Yes.
because people nowadays they do know the difference.
They know.
Before you could put the wool over people's eyes and it was just like you couldn't tell. But
Mhm.
now you can tell. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? So it's like you can't hide nothing no more. So it's like it's best to know God for yourself.
To know for
And
yourself.
you know what I'm saying? Because if not, then you know it'll always be like it's up in the air.
Right.
So I,
Now,
I definitely I definitely get that.
yeah. So Christina, you're the mom of two, single mom
Yeah.
of two, and two beautiful girls. How is that?
Challenging but fun at the same time. And dealing with different personalities, like my daughters, they do have different personalities, and it is a big gap. You know what I'm saying? My oldest is 18, my youngest is 11. So it's like dealing with that. My youngest always looks up to me, of course, but looks up to her sister as well, because it's like she want to do everything she see her sister do. Her sister go to this party, she want to go. you know you know what I'm saying? My daughter had a boyfriend, now she want a boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? But to me, being a parent is challenging. It's scary because it's like my prayers is like always on high every day. When it comes to them, especially with them going to school, being around friends, and they have good days, but they had not good days either. So
Mhm.
when their days are not good, my days are not good. You know what I'm saying? Like I could feel when they're going through something, even when they don't tell me. It's just like, what's up? What's going on? And I do love how I have a bond with my children,
Mhm.
where we could talk about anything. At first it wasn't like that with my oldest, like we went through a lot. They always say the firstborn, they experience the most with you.
Mhm.
And that's exactly, how it was. We went through a lot. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like I
That was that was your cycle of it coming back to you.
yeah,
Because okay,
yeah.
I can remember when you were in high school, and I don't remember if it was your first year or your second year. I don't know. Let me know if you remember this.
Um,
You
okay.
you were in the charter school. You was in the charter high
Create.
school.
Yep,
Yep.
create charter high school.
And you had cut school one day, and I saw you on the move. I pulled my car over and jumped out and ran up on you. Do you remember that?
Oh my gosh, it had to be so long ago. But you know what? I ain't gonna deny and say it didn't happen because I believe it did. Now you gotta elaborate that on me and bring that back to my memories.
Ran up on you because I didn't like who I seen you with, and you were trying to like, boast up to me or whatever, and I just like snatched you, and I
Oh,
was like, excuse my French, get your
it's
ass in
okay.
this car, and we out of here. Boom, threw you in
Yo.
the car, and I took you home. You don't remember that, do you?
Oh my gosh, I sure do not, Lady Sheila. And you know what? I'm glad you brought that back to my memory because I don't lie, I had some wild high
Mhm,
school days. You know what
mhm,
I'm saying? I done did some things and I had to go back and remember, like, yo, I was wild too. Like, dang, I was wilding.
mhm,
But you know what? I thank God for you though, because it's people like you that I still remember and looking up to because you was one of the first people to braid my hair. Like,
mhm.
because you know how you was braiding hair. My mother ain't play that. Everybody be in my hair. She couldn't really do hair
Yep.
like that. But you was one of the people that did my hair. But I always knew that you had good interest for me. Like,
Mhm,
I knew you had my best interest at heart. And I appreciate that because that took me a long way.
mhm.
Because when I couldn't go to my mother or when I couldn't go to certain people, I know I could come to y'all and
Yep.
talk to y'all in confidence.
Yes.
So that was a blessing within itself because a lot of people you can't even do that with.
You
You
can't do
can't
you can't do that
talk to
with.
everybody with,
No, you
because
can't.
they'll take
You
your
can't.
business and run with it all
Mhm.
together. And it's like, nah, nobody need that nowadays. And it's good that you even have this show too, because this is like therapeutic and liberating for
For
me.
everyone, exactly. And I tell everyone that comes on when they say it's good that I have it, it's therapeutic for me also.
Yes.
This helps me with a lot because I said there's going to be one day that I come on and I'm going to be my own guest.
Yes. Yes.
I know everyone is waiting for that. So
Yes.
there's going to be a day that I come on and I'm my own guest. And there's a reason why I was able or I was out there at a certain time to see you on the street and know that you weren't supposed to be there. Why? Because I wasn't supposed to be there myself.
Mm,
If I knew I
mm.
wasn't doing right and I see another woman that's showing up in church with me on a Sunday and I know good and doggone well she don't have no business out here. So,
Right.
like, wait a minute, what's going on? So yeah,
Right.
there's a story to be told.
Wow.
Story to be
Yes.
and
Yes.
I'll get on here one day and I will be my own guest. And
Okay. That'd be dope. I'll be looking forward to that.
um
That'd be amazing.
Christina, many that are watching this don't know that you're a singer also. You have been like our church songbird. And
Ah,
she was the young singer coming up, and it would be half the time when we was able to tell when you didn't want to sing. But you would get up there and you would do it. Right. But what are you doing now as far as musically?
um, a lot. All right. And let me just elaborate real quick, just to go back
Mhm.
just a little bit, right? Now I know, yes, I was definitely one of the ones that was growing up in church singing, but I know it is a couple of other people that I know that has been singing alongside me too. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
kudos and respect to them too, because I know,
Right.
they're still doing their things or whatever. But yes, I am a singer. And as far as that, that was that's where it started, from church. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say that's my roots. That's where it actually started. Like before I actually started getting into like the business with actually doing music, it was people that pulled me into that,
Mhm.
because my mother didn't want me doing anything else but gospel, and she still in a way feels that way. She don't really want me to do anything else but gospel, but of course I'm an adult and I'm grown and I make my own decisions. But growing up, it wasn't like that. It was,
Right.
everything was church. You get what I'm saying? But during my time of like saying, I say like going into like my mid grammar school, high school, it was Maurice and Lanita, which they still are inspiration in my life now. They started me with music first,
Okay.
and it was with church. It started church, like a youth group that
Mhm.
they had, and that's how I started, like actually like going out to rehearsals, doing different things like that. And my mother wasn't really having that. They had to actually talk to my mother to be like, cause she stay out late, this and that, because
Right.
like it used to be crazy. You get what I'm saying? So it was like that. But after a while, they saw my potential. So that started bringing me out more to do different things. And that's when I started doing other things like R&B and all of that. And then that's when it was Latavia Cherry, another person that,
Yes.
was an inspiration to me,
Mhm.
that taught me a whole lot. Like I was traveling, doing certain things with her, and a couple of other artists as well,
Okay.
but that's where it started. Then I started branching off by myself, doing a lot of things, practicing, you know, like with the computer, like learning how to record myself and do
Okay.
different things like that. And, having two boom boxes together. I know, the Sony boom boxes, the cassette tapes. Okay. Used to put those together and used to do the harmonies and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Splicing and
Right.
all. Yes.
Yes. So, that's how it started. But now, actually, what I'm doing now, um, I'm coming out with, my mixtapes. I am on all platforms: DistroKid, Apple Music, Spotify,
Mhm.
YouTube, SoundCloud, Instagram and Facebook, and you. I believe I said YouTube,
Mhm.
but I'm doing music. I ghostwrite for other people. You
Okay.
know, um, I sing at other places. Like anytime if they need me to perform, I'll do that.
Mhm.
But singing is always just that's just like my go-to.
That's your go-to, your
That's
passion.
my escape. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I'm still forever doing that. And definitely everybody be on the lookout because I'm going to be coming out. I'm going to be dropping something very soon. You know, my birthday is in a week and some change, so I'm going to be dropping something.
Okay.
But other than that, music is what I do. I write every day. You know, I sing every day in the
Every day.
shower, all of that. You know, it's something I just can't help. You know, it's like you
Right.
just wake up and just automatically just have a tune, you know? And when it's in you, it's just gonna come out, you know? So
Now,
that's just what uplifts me and
now,
bring me through the rough challenges.
okay, with you saying you're getting ready to drop something for your birthday, and we know that when people do music, they're doing what's in them,
Right.
what's out of them, and things that they've been through.
Hmm.
Singing from their heart, from their mind, their soul, everything. So, and you can say no, or you can go as deep as you want to. But Christina, tell us the darkest moments of Christina that brought Christina back to where she is now, and how you are blossoming, how you,
Mm.
what lessons you've learned.
Okay. Um, I had a couple of dark moments, but I will share something that I probably would have held back on before because I used to cry about it all the time, even to talk about it. But I do want to share this because I think it's imperative because I think it's happening and some people are afraid to talk about it, like how I was afraid to talk about it. But one of the main darkest moments was when I was molested at the age of 4. That was the worst. I felt like that changed me completely. From me even being, I felt like it was a big delay, you know, with life and starting things. And it was crazy because my mother and them didn't even know until I had to be like about 10, 11. And it happened again during that time then of 10 and 11. Okay. And it was with different people. One was a family member, and one was somebody that my mom trusted me with. That was at the age of 4. Trusted me with, you know, going her women's conventions, and she trusted me to go there. And I never thought that would happen to me. You know, I never thought it would. And, you know, I encourage women to speak on it and don't be afraid to speak on it because the more you talk about it in a way, it's like healing because that could really damage you completely, you know? And it's still kind of hard to talk about it because it's like if any of that happened to my kids, I would probably lose it or
Mhm.
probably would kill somebody, you know. And I never say that, you know, I really never had in my heart to kill somebody. But if anybody
Mhm.
did that to my kids, I would kill them. Literally. You know, and I'm being honest. And
And
you know,
that's
it's like,
why it's good to have the open and the close relationship that you have with them, so that when
yes,
it does happen, they know where they can turn and who they can come to. Always,
exactly.
always keep that line of communication open.
Yes,
Always.
definitely. Yes, definitely. And honestly, I kind of not say blame my mom for it, but I kind of fought to her a little bit because I felt like you couldn't tell, like you couldn't see like the changes and stuff like that. Like, you know, it was just like she was passive on certain things. You know what I mean? And then going from there, that was one of the darkest moments to even my mom and my dad divorcing.
Mhm.
You know, that was a big darkest moment for me because it was like they was my pieces, they were my persons. It was that's what how they it was me, you know?
Mhm.
And then they was together, married over 18 years. And then my
Mhm.
dad dipped out, slept with her friend. You know, I'm being honest though.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, and that's what the table is. It's about honesty.
You know what I'm saying?
It's about
And
honesty.
it's crazy. So it was like what people were seeing, my whole attitude in school changing. And this is why we say it's important to pay attention to our children, because
Mhm.
we be sitting here and we don't be knowing what's going on, but we do know when you could see it, And then if the teachers pick it up, like, yo, her whole attitude changing, like, she coming here all jolly and stuff. Now it's like she on defense. She feel like she mad at everybody.
Mhm.
They knew something was wrong,
Something
you
was.
know? So, and that's what it was. It took a long time for me to come back from that. And it was like, I didn't really want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to associate with nobody, even with guys. I was like, to the point I really didn't even want to be bothered with them, and it was like I was in the process of where I wanted to start leaning towards the girl side, talking to girls, I'm being honest, because it was like
Mhm.
a whole bunch of transition changes going on.
Right.
So it was like,
You were trying to find yourself.
yeah, basically was definitely trying to find myself and my identity, because it felt
Mhm.
like I lost myself
Mhm.
along the way. And then now I'm confiding in certain people who have my best interests at heart. And then it was people who didn't.
Right.
And then that's what caused a big downfall for me too, because now I'm doing things, and not saying doing things because it was peer pressure, because certain things I did because I wanted to do, you
Mhm.
know, but a lot of it was peer pressure and that caused that. But a lot of it is through challenges that I've been through in my life,
Right.
and it's not easy. People could see you with a smile on your face every day, but that don't mean you ain't crying on the inside.
On the inside. That reminds me of that. Who is it? Mary Mary song. There's a Mary Mary song. Well, and it goes into like when I get home, close the doors, I'm on my knees praying.
Oh,
You know which song I'm talking
I think
about?
is it yesterday?
Is it yesterday?
Is it called that? I'm not really. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I can't
Yes, I think, yeah, I think it's called
I
yesterday.
fall on my knees and I pray. Yeah. Some
Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. And
Mm-hmm.
that's exactly what it is. When you go into that prayer closet, that's a whole different type of warfare and prayer
Yes, it
altogether.
is. Yes, it
You
is.
get what I'm saying? And people they won't understand that. And it's like that's why it's important. Even when you go to church, you ain't trying to go to no church to hear no nonsense or whatever. People be going through stuff every
That's
day.
right.
When they come to
That's
church, they
right.
trying to come to church to lay their burdens there and
Mm-hmm.
come out different than what they was when they came in there.
When they came in. Yeah.
You know, like,
I don't, I don't hear your gossip. Because if you're talking about her to me, you're talking about me to her.
okay, and that's a fact. That's a fact, and they doing it too, from the young
Right.
to the old.
That's right. Because you two been here in this church. I'm just a visitor, basically.
Okay, and that say a lot, because if the visitors don't come back, then what that mean?
That's right.
Something ain't right.
That's right. That's right. So I'm fine, with sometimes click, I'll watch church from here. This way I'm not the topic of, the
The,
topic of someone's
mm-hmm.
subject of someone's topic. Where
Yep,
if you gonna let me live in your head that long to try to figure out or wonder why I'm not there, you're supposed to be focused on God. You're in church.
exactly. Yep, you're right, Lady Sheila. You
Yes.
you absolutely right. You
Oh,
absolutely right. That's why I just, I try to keep a level head
mhm.
and try to just stay focused, keep my circle small as much as possible,
As much as
you know,
possible.
to uplift other women as well. Because, see, growing up, I feel a lot of us wasn't even really taught to even do that. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it was always like going against each other, always feel like you got to have envy and all of that. But
Petition and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm not really with that, because I feel like, if you your own person, it ain't no competition to begin with. You
Right.
get what I'm saying?
Right.
So
The only person I compete with is with myself to do better than
yeah,
yesterday.
exactly.
So, and I'm a
Yeah,
hard one to compete with.
it,
So
it,
I don't have
okay,
time to include anyone else in that equation.
exactly.
I'm a piece of work within itself.
Yes, I get it. And we all a work in progress, like ain't nobody perfect. We all have our moments, we all fall short. We human at the end of the day. And
And
it's like I had to learn that. Cause
Mhm.
I'm like a perfectionist. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a Libra, I'm a child of God, but I'm a Libra balance. So, I'm like, I like things a certain way, but it's one thing to be taught to be a certain way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of you just deciding to be a certain way on your own. You get what I mean?
And I'm
So
some of your postings now too that you put up in your story and everything. And I must say, you continue to center yourself and stay focused.
I
Okay.
try.
And I'm quite sure you understand what I mean when I said
Yeah.
that. Stay
Yes.
focused. Don't let nobody take that energy from you. And
Yes.
it's not for anybody else to understand. it's
Yes.
it's your journey. It's
Absolutely.
because nobody is standing there next to you. Christina, give me your shoes. Let me jump in them. Let me take that walk for you. No,
Yep. Absolutely. And you absolutely right. That journey is alone.
exactly. So you take that journey and you continue to hold your head up and you do exactly what you're doing.
Yes. Thank you
Exactly
so
what
much,
you're
Lady
doing.
Sheila.
Um, Christina, I want you to give us some positive words, a good message to leave young women. No, I'm sorry. Let me go back to one question that I knew I wanted to ask you.
Sure.
If you were able to speak to your 18-year-old self, what would you tell 18-year-old Christina?
Ooh, Lord Jesus. See, and the thing, oh man, what would I? I would say slow down, and not be consumed by the peer pressure of people, and to fulfill my dreams,
Okay.
and to really follow my heart. Because, see, I started young, 17, I was pregnant, so my life started very fast, so at 18, I already had a baby. My baby was already 1 year old. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I could go back in time, if I could do a lot of things differently, I would. I wouldn't regret my children,
Right.
but you know, I would have done a lot of things differently. But I would definitely tell my 18-year-old self to live your best life, because life is too short.
Mhm.
You know, to watch who I be around, and to cherish everyone that's in my life that is there. And whoever is not meant to be there, then it was for a reason. But to continue to keep striving for my goals, and to make things happen regardless.
Thoughtless.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that's how I feel. I even feel like that now. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I still got to push myself, you
Mhm.
know? Because if you don't push yourself, ain't nobody else gonna do it. If nobody else don't do it, it's like you gotta encourage yourself,
Right.
you
If
know?
people don't see you encouraging yourself with something, that's not going to give them energy enough to encourage you also. Because they're going
Right.
to be like, if she doesn't believe in herself, why should I?
Exactly.
So you
Yeah.
have to. That's one of the things I always tell myself in the mirror. Girl, encourage yourself. Girl, if you don't look at you this morning,
Yeah. That's right. And I like that when you say that, hello, gorgeous. I
yes,
like that.
yes, you have
I
to.
love it.
I don't look for anybody to compliment me. I compliment myself enough. People have taken it wrong sometimes and said, oh, she's so conceited. I'm not conceited at all. Confident.
No, that's right. Yes, absolutely.
Confident. And if people understood from the selfless marriage that I came from, my last marriage, they
Hmm.
would understand why I'm confident as I am today. Because
Yeah.
I didn't get any compliments or anything in that marriage. Every,
Yes.
everything positive that was in me or how I held my head had been taken away from me. I can remember when that marriage
Wow.
was over and I fell to my knees in the back of the church in Doris Cherry's arms. And I said, why me? What am I doing?
Wow.
And it wasn't until I heard her words back to me that said, why am I accusing myself of doing wrong? Because
Mm.
I wasn't the one that was putting out the negativity.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think that I'm the person that's doing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
To wipe all of that off and stop taking the blame for the failure of that.
Yeah. 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 Yep.
And hold my head back up high. And now this confidence is on 1,000.
Yes, I could see it.
It's on 1,000.
I could
Yes,
see it, and I love it because it encourages other women to do the same
yes,
thing. You know,
yes.
to feel good about themselves because that's basically what it's about.
You have
You
to think
know.
about yourself. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because anyone else, if you have anyone else in your space, because people energy draws off of each other's energy. So if they see that you're not feeling good about yourself, that's how they're going to come at you. And that's how they're,
Yes.
but if they see that you treat yourself and you go that extra mile for yourself, it's gonna make them stop and think like, wow, what can I add to that?
Yep.
Because
Yep.
I can buy my own shoes. I can buy my own car. I can buy my own house that I'm sitting in right now. What can you do to add to that?
Exactly. Exactly. Because you could do good or bad by
By
yourself,
yourself. By yourself. Exactly. So
and that's
Christine,
a true
on that,
fact.
I'm going to ask you to leave us with some words that you would give to me to encourage young women coming up behind you.
To never give up, be who you are. Never be afraid to be who you are. Definitely give that personal relationship with God. You know, that's the main thing. Once you have the personal relationship with God, everything else is going to fall into place. And women, value yourself. You know, value yourself first so other people will value too or see the value in you. And never be afraid to talk to someone. Never be afraid to hold your head up high and to feel confident about yourself. Because a lot of people, they will want you to be, to not know your worth. Some people are afraid that you'll know your worth because they know what you can become, you know? So it's like it's all good to know who you are and know whose you are and not be afraid. Like be unapologetically yourself,
Hmm?
you know? And if you have children, take care of your children. Make sure your children come first. You get what I'm saying? Like always make sure you taken care of as well. Because if we not taking care, we can't take care of our kids, you
Right,
know? But, to make sure that we're good so we could make sure our children is good and then install good things and wisdom into them. So they will grow up to flourish, to be better, not you know, better than anybody else, but better for themselves. And I want my children to be better than me. So, I encourage women to teach their children the same thing, and to fix another woman's crown without
go.
having to let her know that it's crooked.
There you
You
go.
get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So many people they feel like they taking like it's taken away from them to help another female, you know, or like it's always like some type of competition or something like, oh, yeah, she thinks she all that and boom, boom, boom. No, like everybody's supposed to look out for each other
Each
because
other.
we could all, be a helping hand to each other. Now, it is some people you do have to distance yourself from. Some people you can't be around because their energy could be so toxic, it could come in your life and tear up your energy and your frequencies.
Right.
And you don't need that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, there's nothing wrong with still inspiring others to still be great, you know, for the women, especially,
Right.
because us women, we are stronger than we think we are. Our minds is so strong,
Right.
and it's like we don't know because sometimes we holding back and we putting limits on ourselves when we don't realize that we are limitless.
Limitless. That's right.
you know So it's a lot. And I appreciate you, Lady Sheila, for that, because you don't know, my heart feels like 10 pounds lighter right now. Like, it's
That's the whole idea of this. Christina, I want to thank you for being our guest at the table today. And I
thank
truly
you.
enjoyed our conversation. And I look forward to doing it again whenever you're ready to come back. There's always a seat for you here at the table.
Yes,
This
thank you so much.
session, you are so welcome. This concludes our session of Meet Me at the Table today. And I just want to go out with saying, probably when I turn off camera, you guys know that I'm always real and I'm always raw, but probably when I go off camera, I'm going to cry because when I asked Christina that question, I was not expecting that answer on what she spoke about when she was 4 years old and 11 years old. I was actually expecting her to speak on something else. I just want to go out saying, keep yourselves open. That goes to the men and the women, so that these young girls and young boys too have someone to go and talk to and someone to trust, because we never know what's going on. Don't be so busy that someone can't come and talk to you. You never know how the next person is hurting. You never know which incident is going on, and it's better to catch it young than to have them to go through life and have to deal with it later. I'm going to post some numbers. If you don't feel comfortable going to your mom, to your dad, your uncle, your cousin, your brother and sister, you can come to me, or you can come to one of the 800 numbers that I'm going to post at the end of this session. But I just ask you, please, if there's anything going on, you need any help, any assistance, please do not hesitate to reach out. This ends our session of Meet Me at the Table. Please catch us on YouTube, catch us on Redeemed Spirits on our Facebook page, and also catch us on Right Side of 50. We look forward to seeing you during our next session. Christina, God bless. And I
God
will be
bless
in
you.
touch. Okay, sweetie.
Later.
Bye.